if you're wondering why we haven't had a video in a while, it's Robert's fault. He's back from Korea. Want to tell us any of your goose stuffing in North Korea?
Been back for 2 weeks, and I think my blood alcohol level is starting to get back to normal.
It's good. It's unusual to have a Korean guy drink that much. All right, so what are we going to do today? We're going to talk. The hell are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about. Oh, by the way, part 3. I know everyone's asking when am I going to finish the last of the last. That should be coming soon. The reason I didn't get it done is because I actually need Robert here. So again, it was Robert's fault.
Forgot about that.
All right. But anyway, what are we?
It'd be like when Chun's Kids Part 2.
That's coming too. Hey, it's by request. It's by request. So anyway, what are we going to talk about today? Today we're going to do something different. We're going to talk about forms. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about forms and the concept behind it, and then basically, if everyone digs my new shirt.
Three Stooges of Bruce Lee.
And all right, first, let me clarify something. Everyone keeps emailing me asking what I have against Bruce Lee. I have nothing against Bruce Lee. I love his movies. I thought he was, as a kid, he's inspirational as far as what he did. And I guess you could say my only bitchings and qualms was, his comments as far as his lack of understanding as far as what Wing Chun is involved. To say stuff that Wing Chun is robotic and, too much fixed positions. Well, yeah, in a way, I understand why he's saying that. When I was 20, I didn't know squat. So as soon as I learned something and I figured, ooh, that's everything that there is to it, then, that's how it is. So back in the day, there wasn't really much asking questions from your teacher. You basically did it. This is how you do it. You copy it, and that's it. So I can understand at 20, you look at Wing Chun, and from that perspective, he shows you a technique, and you're like, oh, is that it? Yeah, that's pretty much it. But let's talk about forms before I start rambling off again. Now and today, forms are considered totally useless, and that's fine. If you don't want to do forms, then don't do forms. I'll do it, but you don't have to. What's the thinking behind this? Like, why are you doing those motions? What's the purpose of first form? You're just wasting time. Isn't the philosophy like, okay, why practice lop chop? Okay, why am I going to do this by myself? Can't I just, if I have my partner and I go lop chop, lop chop, lop chop, now I'm actually using it with a live dummy, a live person, and that's the actual development behind it. Okay, you know what that is when you, in other words, let's look at that. This is me. I'm actually spending time working on understanding what the lop chop motion is. And this is you. You see it on video. You see a person do it, or you see a person read it in the book, and you're like, oh, well, he's just doing lop chop. He's coming across, opening up, over and over again. You know what that is? That's like back in school. Remember back in school, you'd have that one egghead who would do all the homework, and then you would basically, he spent the time doing the homework, and you would say, hey, dude, you want to hang out with us and you can drink with us? As long as you let us copy your homework? Oh yeah, man, sure, cool, that's cool. So basically, you got the egghead who actually earned his knowledge, and you're basically there copying it from him. Here's the answers, you're copying it. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're copying a motion, but you have no idea what you're doing. Okay? God, okay, hopefully I get this right. It's like you stood on the greatness of people, and you package it, and you package it, and before you know it, you slap it on a lunchbox, and you sell it, and then you're there to sell it.
What's that?
Jurassic Park.
I actually never watched Jurassic Park.
What the?
Letting everybody know.
What the? But he's watched Time Traveler's Wife. Just to
I haven't seen that either. Just to go see it with another guy.
Just to make that clear. What? Anyway, by the time I turn out this video, Roy Chisam, his ass is kicked. Guaranteed. Okay, so what's the point? Well, think about it. Okay, you're looking at that. That's basically what you're doing. You see a motion. It's like he's opening his hands, he's closing it, or he's doing a Tanza motion. He's just flipping his hands out. right? Or he's just doing a Bangsan motion. If it was as simple as that, then any Joe Schmo can copy it. You can go on YouTube and learn it. Okay? It's not as simple as that. There is a structural basis of how to do it. For example, Robert does, make sure you do it good. He does lap chop, okay? Lap chop. Go ahead. Chop. No, just go. Just, oh, you're already there. Lap chop. Good. Okay. Look, do it a couple times. Lap chop, right? Lap chop. Lap chop. Great. He's got it. You know, he's copied it. He just does it better. He does it faster, moves his hand faster, a little head shake and a little wah, and freaking before you know it, he knows how to lap chop somebody. All right, but here's the difference with someone who copies and someone who knows. Lap chop. Great. Now, lap chop and hold. Okay, lap chop and hold. Look, he copied this motion, right? Look, I can feel his center already. Look, he's leaning forward. Why is he falling forward? Because what? He learned what? He copied a motion. He didn't understand that in order to do this by yourself, first and foremost, you have to know how to control your stance. Okay, so that's just one aspect. He copied the motion. Yay! He did lap chop. Guess what? No center control. No hand and body coordination. Lap chop again. Great. Lap chop. Let's hold. All right, let's test.
Heel.
Back of the heel. Back of the heel. Back of the heel. Oh, well, he did lap chop exactly. It should work. He's practicing with a live person. He's doing his Gundam style stuff. So, I mean, we can go on and on of all the things that's flawed with just copying that motion without fully understanding it. The main thing I want to point out is simple. If you can't do it correct by yourself, okay? If you can't do it correct by yourself and understand deeply what the motions are in the form, guess what? When you do it with a partner, it's even worse. It's even worse. Okay? So that's why a lot of times you see monkey do. Yeah, that guy can copy it, but if you got the eye to see it, he just copied the motion. He doesn't understand what the motion is involved. Okay? So let's look at some of the fixes here. He does lap chop, boom, lap chop. And then copy the motion. Here, where's this center? Good. Pull up, elbow control. Too far extended from his triangle base. Here. This one, 2 hands aimed. Good. Pull up a little, your stance. Support. Don't think of the hands down, control your center. There, right there. If you look at it, it's like, what's the difference? What's the big deal if he's leaning back a little if I push his structure around it? The big deal is, if you don't know how to control your center and you're leaning back, guess what? You have to use muscle. That's the bottom line. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of what makes martial arts better than anything else. It's not who's bigger, who's faster, who's stronger. It's the skill that dictates everything. Okay? I don't care if you look at the technique is based off, will it work? You show this technique to somebody. If the guy's 250 pounds in tip-top shape, yeah, you can make it work, right or wrong. But if you give it the same technique to a girl who's 110 pounds, maybe 5'1", can she make it work? Right? So you remember, just look at the overall big picture. There is a reason, there is a benefit and understanding involved with learning and doing the forms first. There's a reason you spend time on your own. That's like trying to develop a basketball shot and someone's constantly trying to block you. You need time on your own to develop that first and foremost. Okay, not just, oh, let's play the game. Everyone always wants to play the game because no one ever wants to spend the time developing the freaking skill. You need the skill to be able to fight. Not just the stupidity to say, oh, I spent some time getting hit in the face, now I know how to fight. That's not the Gundam style way. Alright? Yeah, we're just going off someone's coattails. Alright.
You have Jeremy Lin too.
Yeah, you're right. Now he's like yesterday's news, so right now we're just going to the side. Alright, so hopefully that makes sense. Look at the form. Don't look at the form as just a technique. There's more to that. Everyone thinks, oh, well, that's the only reason for that motion. No, you gotta look deeper than that. There's 1 out of 1,000 moves and 1,000 meanings behind that motion. And if you can't look beyond that, that's okay. I know it. If you don't, it's okay. Everything's good. All right. So hopefully next week Robert gets less intoxicated and he can do another video. But until then,
I don't see that happening.
Until then.